Hey everybody, this is the Utah Outcasts. We are a very much uncensored and unabashedly atheist show coming at you from the great and spacious state of Utah via podcast and YouTube. We strive to bring you some entertaining news that you missed, some fun with real audio, and oh so much more each week. For each topic we find funny, infuriating, or just plain newsworthy, we make sure to consume each with as much skepticism and as much irreverence as legally allowed. The panel for this week's show consists of that debonair and suave movie critic, Kyle Steenblick.
That's me. Hi.
And Felicia will get her introduction too, but she's not here to enjoy it just yet. And to the left is the always prepared to lob blueberries, the amazing and irascible Felicia Entwistle. She'll be here soon. Our special guest is someone that I'm excited to have on the show this week. She's the chapter head for the Satanic Temple here in Utah. Someone who made a dream of mine come true by simply existing and doing the work that she does. The one and the only Chalice Blythe.
Hello.
And there are those who call me Chris. But for the internet's sake, as well as my own hatred of sibilants, I am X, and I'm here for my weekly hosting duties. Before we get started in earnest, I wanted to give a quick nod to all the heavy-hitting people who keep this boat afloat, or as you know them, our sustaining patrons, Robert Jones, Dan Ellis, and Louis Cruz. If there was a Mr. Howell to this SS Minnow, it would be Danny Lopez, who could have seriously pole vaulted himself off of the island via the Mariana Trench. See, dick jokes. These four named and awesome people deign to contribute to the show's production each week by giving us money via Patreon. If you don't own the funds to make it rain, but you'd like the show's support anyway, all we ask is that you give us a few seconds of time in whatever app or platform you use to catch our show, or just leave us a rating at the very least. You know, a subscribe. As always, you can find us on various social media as Utah Outcasts, or just email us at mailbag@utahoutcast.com, or hit us up on the Derb line, 347-669-3377, or Dip now derp if you want to dial that number. So, what have you guys been up to for the week? Anything fun going on with y'all?
Fun. I don't know about fun.
You guys have Chalice, you guys have a barbecue coming up, do you not? Or is it this weekend?
Yeah, so it's going to be this Sunday.
Shit, so they're not going to hear
at Fairmont Park, which I believe is in the Sugar House area, and it's between 1 and 5 p.m., and it's for everybody, so you don't have to be a Satanist to attend. It's just an open event where people can come hang out, just very relaxed. Should be a good fun time, I hope so, and the weather should be nice. So,
well, by the time people are hearing this, I'm sure it was a great time. I'm sure it was a lot of fun.
We'll have had so much fun without you guys.
You guys fucking missed it. So anyway, with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our first segment. The fans know what's coming, but for the rest of you, it's time for News You Missed. And what a better way to start our show each week than to plunge headfirst into the headlines that the networks did not pick up. Or if they did, they definitely didn't come with our bias. The first one that we have up here is, well, you know the whole Colin Kaepernick thing? I talked about it quite a bit on the Godless Revolution with those guys, and God, it's been talked about on every fucking show that you could possibly listen to in podcast land. But if you don't know, he's the San Francisco quarterback guy that decided not to stand up for the national anthem. And about the only thing you got to see was like his shoulder pads as he was sitting on a bench when the fucking anthem was playing. You know, when all of football America was at home sitting on the couch getting pissed off that no one was standing up for the national anthem. Well, apparently, Bryan Fischer, one of the guys we love to talk about on the show quite often, he says that Colin Kaepernick is breaking the law.
Well, yeah, no, not
by
really.
Not standing for the national anthem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bryan Fischer claims that there is no question that Kaepernick is violating federal law by kneeling or sitting rather than standing or placing his hand over his heart while the national anthem is played. And he says the evidence for this is the U.S. Code. I didn't realize we had a U.S. Code. No. Anyway, it says, which has no legal authority, but Section 301 says that when the anthem is being played, civilians should face the flag and stand at attention with their right hand over their heart. Brian, should. That's the operative word there, douchebag. It's just a recommendation. I mean, the First Amendment, which has legal authority, says that you don't have to follow that recommendation, but it's not as if Bryan Fischer actually would give a shit about that kind of thing. Who's going to let the details get in the way?
Those details. Those just silly little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just find it funny, and if you want to go check out on Twitter, Andrew Seidel had quite a back and forth with him on this kind of thing. He's like, and Bryan Fischer's like, well, the military has to stand at attention, and I was like, no, they have to follow the Unified Code of Military Justice. That's a completely different fucking rule book than the normal people have to follow.
Yeah, no, that's completely different. Not even close to the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've had many rulings already about the whole having to stand for the pledge and stand for the national anthem and everything. It's a First Amendment right that you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gone to Supreme Court, so fuck you, Bryan Fischer. So the next one that we have up here, we have Ohio School District. Their new CEO finally cuts creationism and intelligent design from the science curriculum.
Finally.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, as I posted this article, I'm like, shouldn't this have been done already? Shouldn't this have been a foregone conclusion? I mean, I thought we went through this already in this nation.
Yeah, I thought so too.
In Ohio?
Yeah.
What's up? That's a battleground state too. God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised that was even still an issue. I didn't know that had happened.
So,
yeah, you see news stories all the time about these school boards. They're when it comes to just determining the curriculum they want taught for their students, it always comes up, the creationism. And you see a lot of teachers, especially in the science field, who are just like, this is not scientifically valid, and we don't want to be teaching this in the schools. But obviously, their quote unquote compromise is to teach both. So
we got to teach the controversy.
Teach the controversy.
Yeah, so, I mean, I remember obviously having gone to school in Utah. I remember that being the case. Being in science class is you're taught both. So you have the heavy-handed evolutionary, you hear the Big Bang Theory, everything like that. And then kind of as a afterthought, and then there's this other thing.
Well, feel happy because that's exactly what they taught when I was in Louisiana and Arkansas and stuff too. I pretty much got the same thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously I don't feel that the intelligent design has any. I don't feel that the intelligent design argument should be presented in schools, but at the same time, as long as you're presenting both, I guess.
Yeah, I think you should give as much credence as there are percentage of people that think that is the truth in the world. Creationism. How many people really believe this? Oh, a small amount of people that actually have no evidence for the shit, Well,
it really helps that the teacher that I had at the time, obviously she did not believe in the creation, the creation. So the way in which it was presented was all of everything we learned was completely in line with what we understand in the science community. And then it was just like and then there's this other theory that's out there. This is what it is, and there you go. I think a lot of the attitude, with the people who are teaching it has a lot to do with it as well.
Yeah, when you get really science-minded teachers, it's really great because they do just gloss over it, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, they just say, this is the other thing that's out there. You guys obviously know what I'm talking about, so there you go.
Yeah, because your parents teach this shit all the time.
There is. I don't know. I think it could have some merit if it's presented in, with the, here's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Here's why this is not exactly good science or science at all. Here's an example of an idea that's crappy.
The specific headline, there was a writer for the Daily Beast that said a current curriculum map, recommends teachers in this public school district show a creationist video.
Oh.
And the creationist video is called Cambrian Fossils and the Creation of Species as a 10th grade science education. This video claims that the Cambrian explosion totally invalidates the theory of evolution. This is a new one to me. I might want to research this.
I've never heard that, yeah.
Yeah.
But for people that are not in the know, the Cambrian explosion was a time period nearly 550 million years ago, where over the next tens of millions of years, the number of species on Earth experienced a relatively rapid expansion by evolutionary standards. Christian creationists regularly point to this explosion of life as evidence for creation by God and against evolution. So, there was other life already happening on this planet before the Cambrian time, and then all of a sudden Cambrian happens, then it's just when God went lightning bolt, fucking, let's make this shit. Let's make me some, bird fishes.
Yeah.
But doesn't that invalidate the whole, in 7 days God created everything, so then you have, why would he...
That's when you get into the intelligent, when you get into the shitty intelligent design arguments where they're like, oh, well, But they don't mean literally 7 days. They mean 7 of God's days. And
that's when you get into the hardcore apologetics where it's, oh, well, God didn't use the Julian calendar.
Yeah, nobody did during that time,
God
fuckers.
didn't know what daylight savings time was, so it's totally valid.
You know, it still fucks me up that, like, we still have September as the 9th month. That pisses me the fuck off. I don't know why it should. And October is the 10th month. It's like, no, you're just teaching kids wrong. Should be like what would it be? That's what November should be the 9th month.
Yeah,
December should be the 10th month. And forgive me, I don't know what 11 is in Greek letters, in Greek words. I don't know.
11sies.
11sies. Ooh, I'm gonna get me some food. No.
11sies Tober.
And second breakfast ween. So the CEO for the district put a stop to the anti-science nonsense. Well, thankfully, yay. The memo says that beginning this 2016-2017 school year, any reference to intelligent design, creationism, or any like concepts are eliminated from the science curriculum. Hooray! And he writes that the discussions, activities, videos, and articles that may have referenced or what he characterized as objectionable concepts have been replaced with state science standards. That's that Common Core stuff getting in the way.
No, we can't have standards.
No, we can't possibly let a kid move from one state to another and, be able to pick up where the fuck he left off in the last class, No, we can't have that. I moved a lot as a kid.
Hey, man, that's intruding on states' rights. Come on. You know better, X.
That's states' rights shit. Oh, that bugs the fuck out of me. Like, no, do you enjoy being a member of this giant fucking commonwealth of like, states? Do you not enjoy that? No, I don't enjoy that. Well, you can just you can just fuck off. That's what you should do. And apparently Mexico is talking about, invalidating the treaty that gave California and Texas to us. I didn't bring up that news article, but they're trying to say if Trump becomes president, they're going to essentially spark the Mexican-American War all over again.
Yay! I like the taco trucks.
Taco trucks on every corner. Yeah.
I'm for that. Give me taco trucks.
Here's a shocker. Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon Church, for those that didn't fucking know. If you're listening to us in Utah, you know who Joe Smith is. He had a second seer stone. And this article is like, here's what we know about it.
It was a rock.
Yeah, it was a rock.
No, it was my iPhone, don't you know?
Yeah, he put it in the hat so that he could see the screen better.
That's the only way he could get reception.
Like, he didn't have a thing where you swipe up and then, like, move it over so you can actually make the brightness better. I mean, that's...
No, he had to put it in the hat like you're outside.
So it's like one of those flip phones?
Yeah.
It's an old StarTAC phone. I'm old.
Or if you're outside, you have to go find a shady spot and, like, cover it with your hands to try to see the number.
So now they're saying that it's not only that topazish kind of, what the hell would that be? What kind of stone was that? It was like a brown,
I don't know.
It would look like a piece of petrified stone that had been like worn down and smoothed over.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a Palmyra resident by the name of Pomeranian Tucker, who worked on the publication of the Book of Mormon. All those hands making the work very much lighter, I guess. Remembered that Joseph Smith's seer stone had a whitish, glassy appearance, though opaque, resembling quartz. In his 1867 book, it probably was quartz.
It was a magic crystal. I see.
If it resembled quartz, it probably was quartz. Sorry about the flooding, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear my pipes going. My family just got home. They had a late night, so. So there were other sources at that time that claimed that early Palmyrans, reflected the same description of the stone, making it difficult to know if they were original observations or, mimicked his more informed and publicly declared opinion. Because, they don't think for themselves. We humans, we think for ourselves all the time, don't we?
Of course we do.
No, we just repeat shit that we hear. That's what we do on the show, too, but anyway. Unlike his brown stone, there's a Guns N' Roses song for you right there. Joseph Smith did not give away his white stone. In fact, The Nauvoo apostles remember him showing them his seer stone. I bet they did. You want to see my seer stone?
He showed everybody his stone.
It was white and what did they say? It was whitish, glassy appearance, though opaque, resembling quartz. Man needs to get out in the sun more often. So anyway, they were talking about it, Oliver Cowdery and all that bullshit. He had possession of it. And during the time, Joseph had been working on the Book of Abraham. You know, when he took that Egyptian papyrus and translated it into a book. He took a facsimile and made it into the Book of Abraham, which is by far one of the wackiest fucking things that the Mormons have in their bag of tricks. It's just it's hilarious to me.
It's awful.
It is. I mean, that's the one where like he says, "Oh, it's this guy that's planning on killing Noah, or not Noah. What the fuck is it? Abraham?" And
yeah,
it's so stupid. Look at that in the Kinderhook plates and Reformed Egyptian and Brigham's language and all that shit. When the Mormons finally got kicked the fuck out of Missouri and wherever else they were just fucking kicked out of, because they did get quite slaughtered. But when they finally like started exiting west, they got really fucking wacky. That's when things got really weird, and they settled here, and it's still wacky. But anyway, they're trying to say that, oh, was this white seer stone more important to Joseph Smith than his brown seer stone?
Well, yeah, he liked the white ones better.
Yeah, because the other one hardened their hearts against God. One's a Lamanite stone, one's a Nephite stone. And they asked the heavy hitting questions. This is from LDS Living, is where I grabbed this thing from. So they hit all the heavy fucking like topics. So did Joseph Smith translate the Book of Mormon with the white seer stone? No, he didn't with either. So,
well, what was their answer?
Let's see. There are almost no contemporary accounts of the Book of Mormon translation that describe the color of Joseph Smith's seer stones. But that doesn't stop them from making all sorts of paintings and shit where he's wearing like a breastplate with glasses attached to it that he was supposedly using. Not the whole head in the hat thing where the Mormon church actually has articles about that, you know. Yes, this is how he did it. And you have people from the church actually commenting on this stuff. So in 1830, Joseph Smith purportedly used a seer stone to give the newly baptized future apostle Orson Pratt of Revelation. And though he may be given Oliver Cowdery his brown stone, yeah, he gave him his brown stone, he appeared to have possessed another stone that he was actually using. So they're saying, yeah, he might have used it. They don't have any fucking hard answers on this stuff. Where is the stone today? Apparently got given to the Lorenzo Snow family. I don't fucking know. You start digging into this church, and like even when you just barely break the surface, there's just a bunch of crazy in there. And this is no short example of it. They're like, oh, he had a white stone? Oh my gosh, that's so fucking amazing. That's such a great story. And everybody else is like, dude, you're talking about a guy using stones to translate a book from gold plates that nobody ever saw with their real eyes. They saw them with their spiritual eyes, and they were in a hill, taken out of the hill, given to him by an angel, taken away, given back, taken away again.
It was a rock.
It was a rock.
It's a rock.
It's almost like it was made up or something.
A little bit.
Just like his first encounter story or whatever the fuck they call it, the first whatever, where he's changed it like 6 times since he originally made the story.
Mm.
Yeah. And it got more exciting each time.
Yeah, and the book that, you know, is supposed to be the most perfect blah that there is, how come there have been all these changes to it? Like, we're talking about a book that was written in English that's been changed from English to English. You know, we're not talking about translation errors and shit like that. Man.
Yeah, didn't he have, I read somewhere that somebody who read through the Book of Mormon, they could absolutely tell that what was translated, the way in which it was, like, the words and the sentence structure, everything about it reflected the same amount of schooling that Joseph Smith had. Mm-hmm. Like, to the same level. There were chapters and stuff directly lifted from another person's book. There were, it was another book around the same time where they were asking the same questions. What were the Indians? Were they the lost tribe of Israel kind of thing? It was almost the exact same fucking story. Oh.
Yeah.
And there was also what was it? Like how every sentence structure that he uses and so it came to pass and all that other bullshit stuff that he was saying. That came from like direct from the King James Bible. Like there's translation errors that made it from King James into the Book of Mormon. And he's like, oh no, he didn't use any of that to make this book. No, he took shit boilerplate and just changed names. That's all he did.
Yeah.
The reason it sounds so familiar is because it's the same story with different people. So, John Kasich, that fucking dickhole.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So he was apparently, the best possible candidate for the GOP. No, really not. But he's the Ohio governor, and the former presidential candidate was in New Hampshire recently to endorse fellow Republican Chris Sununu for governor.
Sununu!
He's still around. I can't believe that shit.
Yeah, I know. Man.
So during a tour of downtown Exeter, Kasich entered a bookstore and saw a Harry Potter book. Dear Penthouse. No. And shared his irrational thoughts about Daniel Radcliffe, the openly non-religious actor who played Potter in the movies, as if nobody from our generation and the ones after us fucking know who Daniel Radcliffe is.
Who?
Yeah, Swiss Army Man.
Oh, yeah.
I need to see that still. Anyway, this is what he has for a quote here. You know that Daniel Radcliffe has declared himself an atheist? I'm serious. What a weird thing. Why would a guy who has all that success what the hell is wrong with him?
It's not like he worked for it or anything.
It's not like he spent his whole childhood on movie sets and, doing PR tours and everything, No, you can't possibly be successful.
Adult.
You can't be successful unless you have a God belief, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just makes me wonder, what would happen if Kasich, learned about people like Mark Zuckerberg, who atheist, Bill Gates, who atheist,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
who gave a shit ton of money away, who continuously gives a shit ton of money away. He's like, I'm never going to be able to spend this all. Same thing with Zuckerberg. You guys see the rocket exploded, right?
Yeah.
The SpaceX rocket, that was Mark Zuckerberg's satellite that was on top of it.
Oh.
Hey, Mark. Sorry about your satellite.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm kind of sad
dude.
because that was going to give free internet to the people in Africa.
Yeah.
Kind of
That's okay.
bummed.
He'll launch another one in 6 months. It's fine.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. Tax write-off. There we go.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy to have just fucking billionaire money and you could just spend money like on whatever pet project you want to do? I want to have a water fountain in the park that dispenses beer. Well, you can't do that. You can't do that legally. Can't I? $1 million to their fund. You still can't do that. $2 billion. Everybody's got a price.
It's okay. We'll put a sign up. Warning: drinking fountain may contain alcohol.
But seriously, he says, "What a weird thing." Like, I'm sure Kasich has been around atheists before, and it's successful people. I'm sure that he's been around successful atheists and even non-successful ones. It's like, why does us not having a belief in something make us weird? I don't understand that. It's probably the same reason when I read these people's like holy books and I'm like, they seriously believe this shit? No, you can't possibly think that this is like real. You can't. There's just no way. You can't do that.
And then they have the same reaction to you.
Yeah, but at least mine's based in real world beliefs. It's like, how many people have been dead for like 3 days and came back? Especially in the Middle East when you weren't putting them on ice or anything. And
yeah,
that was a whole prestige thing. I'm convinced of that one. He had a twin. That's what it was. Or a cloning machine made by Tesla.
It was Wolverine.
Oh, yeah. Healing factor.
Yeah. That's really all it was.
Let's see. The next one that we have here is this is our last one, actually. There's a Christian preacher by the name of Marcus Rogers who recently was begging fans for like almost $500,000. Please donate to my charity. And he's raised like, over $30,000 because of this. He has like a Kickstarter, not a Kickstarter, because you actually have to have a product. You can't just sell them bullshit. Well, I mean, you can, but you actually have to have a real product that you're planning on building.
Yeah.
But anyway, he asked a whole bunch of people for like $500,000 because it would help him somehow spread the word of Jesus to the land. Anyway, so he's also a staff sergeant in Fort Campbell. That's in Kentucky for you people out there. And he baptized an army specialist by the name of Daifal Ali, who, after the baptism, drowned after the baptism took place. So plunged him under the water. Next thing you know, he gasps and he's got a lung full of water and he dies.
Huh.
So the biggest problem for this Rogers guy is that he's not a chaplain. So in the military, you're not authorized to baptize anyone on a military base.
No.
And so you also destroyed, government property by killing another troop.
Yeah.
So he didn't take proper precautions and he could be in a lot of fucking trouble. So who comes out of the woodwork that we haven't heard from in a long time?
Oh no.
The baseball cap wearing, neck bearded douche nozzle that is Josh Feuerstein.
God damn it.
Who's encouraged his followers to harass the news station that reported on the story until they take it down. How dare you tell the truth? How dare you expose truth? Fuck you, take it down. You should go kill yourself. That's the kind of people these Christians are, I bet. How would a Christian harass? I mean, aren't they supposed to be like nice and upright and good and all that stuff?
What kind of you've been talking to?
I don't know shit. I'm just saying they shouldn't they? Isn't their big thing the golden rule bullshit that they try to believe? Do unto others.
Well,
no, that's just it. Do unto others.
They're definitely people like that are definitely out there, but it seems like they're very. The problem is that the noisy ones are always the one that get the most attention, and the ones who just kind of do their thing in the background. Nobody thinks they exist because they do exactly that. They just kind of do their own thing. And
I love those kind because they keep to their own. Yeah. They don't try to change fucking legislation. Yep. They don't try to change rules.
Yep, they're cool. They're cool just like doing their own thing and let other people do their own thing, and it's great. So there are definitely those out there, but they're not the noisy ones, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So they want him to take the story down because how dare they tarnish this guy's reputation? And this is Feuerstein's thing. He says, it's News Channel 5, okay? That's coming after this incredible young preacher of the gospel for baptizing and essentially in their story almost accusing him of murder. He kind of did murder him. I mean, it wasn't premeditated. It was manslaughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm telling you, he needs help. He needs your help because News Channel 5 needs to know they can't run this kind of ridiculous story and expect to get away with it. You dumped a dude in the water without having the prior approval to do such a thing, and he died. And you're wondering why this guy's in trouble. Gee, I fucking won.
I'm kidding.
They told you don't do a thing, and you did a thing. How mad do you get as a parent, Kyle, when your kids don't do a thing and they do it anyway?
Oh, I've just given up at this point.
Oh no!
You're gonna do the thing anyway, so you just do the thing, and we'll clean it up after. And just.
So I mean, he wasn't supposed to baptize anyone in that particular location, and so that just complicates their Christian persecution complex. The station hasn't taken the story down yet, so yay. Good for them not caving into this faith-based bully. Anyway, I still wonder where Josh's like $20,000 Red One camera that he bought is. I bring that up every time I think about the guy because he had a begging campaign where he was e-begging for this camera to be used, and he raised like $20,000 for it. Never got the camera, but showed up like the next week with like a new like Cartier watch on and all this other stuff, and it's like, and he's still shooting his shit on an iPhone.
and still vertically.
Yeah, no shit. He still hasn't learned how to turn his shit to the side, Douche.
That's his biggest crime right now.
Yeah, he really should be flayed for such a thing. In this day and age, you don't do that. You just don't fucking do it. So anyway, that takes us to our first break. We're going to be back with the Geekery in a few seconds, where we're going to talk about one of Chalice's favorite comic books. And I kind of ran this through with her last night, and it's going to be fun. You guys are going to enjoy it. Okay, so we're back, and this is the Geekery, like I was saying before the commercial break. And considering our guest tonight, Chalice Blythe, is a huge fan of Alan Moore and the Watchmen, because I can see a Dr. Manhattan over your shoulder there. Yay.
And.
Oh, you got one too.
Oh.
I was about to just say that I have a friend that just barely got one of those too. And I'm like, that's a cool tattoo. And some people are like, I have no idea what that means. I'm like, you've never read one of the best comics ever made.
They got the tattoo, but they don't know what it means?
No, the guy did, but other people were commenting on it.
Oh.
I'm like, sweet, you got a hydrogen tattoo.
Yep.
And I'm like, you should have got a deuterium one or tritium one. Shut up, science nerd.
Shut up! It's symbolic on different levels.
I know. I like the idea of having extra protons is it extra neutron? I don't know.
Electrons.
Yeah.
If deuterium is heavy, it's heavy water, so it's what, 2 electrons instead of the 1.
Hydrogen has 1. Oxygen
No,
has
I'm saying
2,
like, but
so
there are ones that have extra because hydrogen has a proton and electron. Basically, it's most basic you can get. Mm-hmm. There is a version of hydrogen where it's heavy hydrogen, where they were talking about this for cold fusion.
Yeah.
Where it has, I can't remember what the extra little bit is in there, but it makes all the fucking difference.
Electrons.
Yeah.
Probably because if you change the proton, that becomes a new element.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Anyway, fucking nerds. So I wanted to bring it up to the panel that we are currently living in the same type of era as the Watchmen. I mean, we're not exactly. I mean, things are a lot different than they were when Watchmen was originally written, but I mean, there are a lot of parallels because that's a timeless comic that you can probably read into and see that we are technically living in the same kind of era.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the brink of World War III, every day there's something new always going on. I think our biggest concern right now would probably be our relations with Russia.
That's a bit of a worry.
I can definitely see the parallels between the two. I mean, obviously, Alan Moore wrote the book back in the 80s.
Before he became a wizard.
Was that before he became the wizard? Did he kind of go nuts after Watchmen?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's come out and said he hates that comic now.
Yeah, he worships a lizard god or something like that. I don't care. I love him. He can do whatever he wants.
Wasn't he here in Salt Lake last year, or was that, who am I thinking of? Who was the big author that came through?
You were thinking
Neil Gaiman, yeah, okay. Yeah, totally different, but,
No, Alan Moore.
Another fucking amazing writer, though.
Yeah, he sits in his house in England, and he writes amazing things, and he wants nothing to do with anything. Anymore, so.
Here's a book. Fuck you.
No, my hero.
It's amazing, actually. You think about it.
Oh man, I'd love it if I never had to leave my house.
You know, I am one of those people too, where I'm like, I'm okay here. I don't need to. I don't need much.
I have the internet, and food gets delivered to your house nowadays. So there's no need.
Yeah, you can get, like, non-delivery stuff delivered to your house now, too.
Dude, you get Blue Apron and stuff now. They actually say if you're interested in cooking, they'll send everything to your house. You don't need to do anything.
Yeah, but I'm a picky eater. Most of the time, I don't want half that shit in my food. Anyway, we're minutes away from the doomsday clock striking midnight with what you said, like you said, Russia and our relations with them. They're invading Crimea and North Korea setting off yet another fucking nuclear test the day before we start doing this.
Yeah, North Korea's going apeshit.
Yeah, their 5th one this year. And all we keep doing is, you better knock it off. You better stop that. I think we're eventually going to reach a point where we do get more heavy-handed, but...
Well, to be fair, I mean, it's hard to know what they're capable of, but I think it's fair to assume that we're capable of a lot more, so...
Yeah, we could do a lot worse than they could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you hope it never comes to that, but... I
saw their video of them launching a submarine-based ICBM or some sort of rocket coming out of... And it looked like a silver garbage can coming out of the water. It looked like somebody photoshopped it, but it looks so like 80 years ago technology. It's amazing. North Korea is going to become like the steampunk world.
Yeah, well, and apparently you can't be sarcastic there anymore, too. That was in the news today, so...
Yeah.
No, really?
Yeah, no, I don't... Obviously, I haven't scoped it, so this could be completely... I could be quoting something completely fictitious, but I saw in the news today about how Kim Jong-un outlawed sarcasm because he couldn't... he wanted to make sure that if people were agreeing with him, that it wasn't sarcastically, it was legit.
No, really?
Yeah, so you might need to scope that, but I was seeing it all over the news today, so...
I don't know, that does sound totally like something you would do.
See, that's the thing. That was the whole reason I didn't bother scopesing it at first, because I was like, yeah, no, that guy's absolutely fucking crazy. Like, of course he would do.
Like the next thing I expect is him outlawing jokes that he doesn't understand.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah. Oh, I could totally see that happening.
Go watch The Interview, people. That's a brilliant fucking movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that gave it shit because like there was all the controversy that was surrounding it, but that movie made me fucking laugh. And it was stupid, but it made me laugh.
That's what I like about those movies. They're so dumb, but that's kind of the fun in it. That's the whole purpose of it. Yeah.
You're gonna have to fight the tiger. I'm not gonna fight the tiger. The fucking probe knocks, and the dude chewing the bacteria thing, whatever it was, gum. He thought it was gum, but it was actually the thing to kill the. Yeah. And he progressively gets sicker and sicker as the movie goes on. Oh, I love that movie. So, we're currently living in an era, to get back to the topic, where people are completely comfortable living in a lie rather than, looking at the stark world we live in. So there's a bunch of Rorschach there because that's a man that never shied away from the truth. Except when it came to his own self, really.
Yeah, well, the Rorschach character is somebody who saw everything in black and white, and the reason why, he is presented as Rorschach is that there's no gray area. Either you're good or you're bad. And, the way in which he judged people's goodness and badness was obviously completely subjective. And it was on such a small scale. So, you think about the character. I read something somewhere where they were comparing the two people, Ozymandias and Rorschach, and how their philosophies, how they could have, if they could have gone either way, how that would have worked out in the scenario of which the story is based. So you have Rorschach, who has that complete black and white. There's no nuance. You're either good or you're evil, and he's the one that's going to pass that judgment. And he passes that judgment on the people actually performing the acts. And how that enables change is very slow. And then you have Ozymandias, who he has there's a particular word I'm trying to think of, and it's not coming to me right now, but it's a particular point of view where the means are worth the end.
No.
So when it comes to, so in Ozymandias' mind, obviously his way of solving the problem was to murder millions of innocent lives
to save all life.
To save all life, to avert World War III from happening. And so you have one bad guy that the entire world can, channel their anger and their hatred towards, to be that scapegoat so that they don't turn on each other. So, his was obviously very drastic, and it was, the end is totally worth the means of which you get there. So,
well, I'm glad in the movie they decided not to go with the giant,
the giant
psychic squid.
Yeah, well, being somebody who loves the graphic novel, when I saw the movie, obviously everyone noticed and everyone was angry about it. I wasn't angry. I liked it. I thought it made a lot of sense because
I'm a defender of the movie because there's a lot of people. I remember watching the first trailer when it came out. I think they did it during it was during Dark Knight, like when they were showing that in the theater. They showed the first trailer of it.
Pumpkins in the background, and you're seeing these characters, like nothing's being said really. There's that little snippet with Rorschach, but really it's just these images, and you're seeing them on screen, and you're like, holy fucking shit, they're doing it, really?
And
I lost my mind.
I was in the audience, and I'm like, no fucking way. And I was at a special a geek screening. There's a local guy here in Utah that has a network of podcasts. His name is Scott Johnson. He does all sorts of geek stuff. Anyway, he rented out a whole theater out in it's out past Draper. It was way the fuck out there.
Okay.
But he rented out a whole theater and he gave free tickets to anybody that asked for him that lived local. And so we went to go see it. And so they're showing this trailer and it ends and nobody's saying anything. I'm like, come on, that's Watchmen. The fuck, people? You're here to see Batman and you don't know Watchmen? Fuck you.
Yeah, they'll tell you all day long they love Killing Joke and they've never heard of Alan Moore before. Yeah.
God.
I'm not
I will
bad comic nerds.
I will defend the movie every day I'm alive. I loved it so much. I think, considering the source material and how involved and complicated it all was, I think they did a really good job. And I think it's unfortunate that Alan Moore, From Hell and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he had such negative experiences working with those movies that he completely disavowed any other reproduction of his work. And I was like, I wish this was the one that he saw, because I think of all of them, I haven't seen Killing Joke yet, but I think of all of the reproductions of his work, like Watchmen is pretty.
For Killing Joke, there's a lot of people that have issue with Barbara Gordon, the
Batgirl
dating Batman. Yeah.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
It's like that was kind of already insinuated with like Batman Beyond and a bunch of other comics. So the problem is that what they're trying to do is like Killing Joke isn't that long of a run. And so it's the one. It's hard for you to make a feature length out of something that's only like, I think, 5-6 issues or something like that. I can't remember what the run was.
Yeah, it's very short.
I mean, it barely fills up a trade paperback. It's just like a Death in the Family. I've got the Death in the Family trade paperback over here, and it's like 100 pages of it is, or not even 100 because it's less than that. It's like 80 pages is Death in the Family. Then they give you like 40 pages of like Teen Titans. I'm like, wait a minute, fuck! Like, why did I buy this? But anyway, with Watchmen, I really quite fucking enjoyed the movie. For anybody that hasn't seen it yet and you've never read the comic, honestly, if you get the director's cut, and this is a Zack Snyder thing, and I don't know why he can't release movies that are fully, released in the theater. Like every one of his movies has a director's cut where it's like 40 minutes longer. This one's no different.
And they're better movies. Yeah,
they are. I mean, look at Sucker Punch. Like Sucker Punch in the theater. Yeah, good luck and fucking enjoying that movie. I mean, a lot of people did, but like when you get the director's cut, you're like, oh, this makes a lot more sense now. Just like Batman vs Superman, the extended Ultimate Edition was fucking amazing. A lot better than the one you got in the theater, and I'm a defender of that one too. But it just seems like Zach keeps getting fucked over by the studio when it comes to releasing a complete movie, because they're more worried about ticket sales than they are about like complete products.
Yeah.
But anyway, we don't want to talk about industry. Let's see. So I was going to say that if we had to, I wanted to play a quick game. Who would you relate to the characters of Watchmen? And for people out there that don't know what we're talking about, go watch the movie, read the graphic novel. There's a lot of people out there that really do know what Watchmen is all about, especially geeks. So for me, I was going to start with Ozymandias, Elon Musk. He's a guy trying to bring us into a more peaceful and more complete time, but he keeps hitting.
I can get back. I think that would be a close. I think that would be a close comparison. Yeah.
Rorschach, Alex Jones.
I'll give you that.
I don't know.
That's a guy that lives in fucking absolutes, and he's bonkers. So
I don't think Rorschach's that crazy.
No, Rorschach's absolutely insane, but you really like his character because you know who he's going after, and so you're totally fine with it.
Well, yeah, he's crazy as shit, but he's logical.
I like beans.
It's a logical crazy. It's okay, yeah, I get it. I see where you're coming from, but Alex Jones is just fucking out there. I don't know.
Well, keep in mind who Rorschach sent all of his shit to.
Yeah.
He sent it to, like, the InfoWars people.
Yeah.
So, really. Let's see. Who would make a good comedian? I mean, besides the character we got played in the movie theater, in the movie production, because I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that's playing Negan on Walking Dead right now.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember the actor's name.
But really great fucking actor. And the role that he played in that movie, oh my God, he was so good at it.
He was amazing.
Who would be a good comedian?
It's all too fucking funny.
I'm blanking. I'm absolutely blanking.
I would make a joke like Donald Trump, but that would just be mean.
No, Donald Trump doesn't deserve the comedian.
No, not at all.
Well, because he doesn't see the world as it is. You know, he doesn't laugh at the fact that we have impending doom coming at us.
No, he's actually just that. And he's not yeah. I won't get into it, but
Great comic. Fucking, I love this book. I'm going to go read it again soon. I actually need to. I try to read it yearly with Kingdom Come. I try to read both of those in the same year because, god damn it, what a great book. Let's see. Let's ditch that one. How about we need a hero, but none are lined up considering the next batch of politicians. That's another problem that we have is that, you have Night Owl, which, he was the most reluctant fucking hero, even though he was the guy that had all the cool stuff. He had all the means and the know-how, but he just kind of gave up and got fat.
So we're talking about Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I don't know. I'd say maybe Sanders.
No, he tried. He honestly gave it a decent try, but the game was stacked against him. And I'm not one of those people that is just trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything. But honestly, he was an independent that tried to run as a Democrat, and that weighed heavily into his disfavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if he was a Democrat running as a Democrat before, that would have made a lot more sense. Well, you guys are both yawning. It's been a long fucking day, huh?
Yes, it has.
I've been up 5:30. It's been a day.
I know that feeling. So, what do you guys think our giant squid moment will be? What do you guys think it's going to be for us here in the United States? I mean, not worldwide, but just here.
Giant squid moment.
Voting Trump into office.
Oh shit.
Maybe. I mean, it would have to be something. It would have to be something like that, where
the whole rest of the world,
like somebody in power, was so. It was such a destructive force that we can only see everything just going downhill from there. I mean,
Yeah. So is it America's turn to have a Hitler then? Is that what we're thinking? Is that?
No.
We'll need some other countries to come band together and beat the shit out of our great and illustrious leader. After all the cool people finally decide to leave before the purge happens.
No, we'll all vote Hillary in. We'll all vote Hillary in out of fear of Trump, and then we'll just go with it for 4 years. It's fine. Yeah,
I mean, because honestly, you have a choice between your right arm or both legs. It's like, And, okay, she's not that bad, but she is pandering like a motherfucker. She is doing the political thing, and I understand that's what she thinks she has to do to get elected, but, ugh.
Well, at the end of the day, honestly, at the end of the day, you just have to decide which one's worse.
Yeah, and I think we can see the writing on the wall, and we're all going to be voting Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Who doesn't know what the fuck Aleppo was?
Oh, God.
What is that exactly? Dude, what? You're running for president and you don't know.
It's a bad sign when the person interviewing you has to say, "You're kidding, right?"
Well, to be fair, a lot of the people who were sharing those photos of the kid during that attack, I mean, they were mostly the ones who had to Google that term when that story came out. So.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of which, I saw that there is a documentary coming up on Netflix called The White Helmets. That people should check out because it's about the first responders in Syria.
Oh, wow.
When bombings and shit happen, they're called white helmets because they wear like white crash helmets because concrete and shit.
Right.
So I watched the trailer for it and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I'll be able to watch this. I mean, I feel like we should as citizens of this earth realize what the fuck is going on over there, but.
Absolutely.
So
anyway, what do you guys think it'll take for the world for us to snap out of it and learn how the fuck to get along with other people?
Huh.
How about ridding the world of religion? That'll work.
I was going to say
that'd be a good step.
I think it's
not about religion.
It's going to be at the point where we think Trump's going to win and all the taco trucks leave. When all the taco trucks return to Mexico, we'll realize things have we fucked up.
I don't want the taco trucks to leave. Like, street tacos are the best, man.
No, come back.
No, please. No, I need some linguiça. No. Okay, that's enough for the geekery. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that fun little segment. We could go on and on and on, but we're going to go ahead and jump into Fun with Real Audio. And I don't know if Felicia's making it. I haven't heard word from her yet, so.
Oh, I haven't either. Maybe it was just that good.
It was that good. What are you talking about? Anyway, this is Utah Outcasts. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back from our break, and this is Fun with Real Audio. You guys love this segment. I love doing this segment because except the fact that I have to listen to these clips at least 4 times before I share them with you.
And so it's not really that much fun.
No, it's not. I mean, it's fun because, like...
We should rename this Pain with Real Audio.
Pain therapy.
Painful Real Audio. Yeah, pain therapy. There we go.
Something. I don't know. I've already got the t-shirts printed. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't. I don't. Don't ask. I'm never going to fucking make a t-shirt like that. So, it's Fun with Real Audio. The first guy that we have up here, we have David Barton. And some of you might be wondering who this David Barton guy is. He's the guy that thinks that, the first, not the First Amendment, the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all that stuff was divinely inspired. He's the kind of guy that believes that Jesus handed down the Constitution of the United States to the founding fathers kind of thing. And, Noah was a founding father kind of, oh man. So anyway, there's been a big, what to do about the fact that he claims to be this historian, and he claims to be this, he knows all of this stuff about history. That's a historian. Fucking way to repeat yourself there, X. But nobody can find his PhD. He claims to be a doctor now. Like, he went on Glenn Beck and said that, you have your doctorate now. He's like, yeah, I'm a doctor. Yeah, I'm a doctor. And so, us liberals, we just love to rip people apart for saying that they're doctors and stuff. So I've got quite a bit to say about this guy, but I'm going to let him speak his words first. Here we go.
Something I've noticed about progressives and liberals is how careless they are in throwing false claims around. For example, I was recently on a national television network where I was introduced as having a doctorate, and progressive instantly ran stories claiming that I don't have a doctorate. That false claim is amusing on so many levels. First, things like health information and tax information and college educational information are fully protected by privacy laws. So they don't know whether I have a doctorate or not. And I've always chosen not to talk about it. Second, just for the record, I do have an earned doctorate. There it is. And third, not only do I have an earned doctorate, I also have 2 honorary doctors of letters from other colleges. And according to West Virginia University, the Doctor of Letters degree is reserved only for individuals who have the highest level of knowledge in their chosen subject matter. So for all of you critics, sorry to pop your balloon, but I do have an earned doctorate.
From...
So...
Where?
Yeah, I've actually got the article because he made the mistake of, posting this video in HD. And he's got the documents behind him on the shelf, and he keeps pointing to him with this badly edited video that he does. So on his video, he says that, if you earned a PhD, you would know it. Because, okay, he says that he earned a PhD. That earned PhD that he has came from, let's see, where did it come from? Sorry, it's not exactly exciting right now. So he got a honorary degree from Pensacola Christian College, Pensacola Christian College. So that's a college mill. That's one of the places where you send them $20 in a cover letter, and they'll send you a diploma. And on the right is the Doctor of Letters degree from Ecclesia College.
Is that a real college?
No, I don't think that's a thing.
Must be a print shop somewhere where. So anyway, the degree that's in the middle of the video that we have up here, you guys can see if you're watching on YouTube, came from a school called Life Christian University. That's where he earned his degree, he says. And so this is an online school.
No. Sorry.
So he's a doctor, like how Kent Hovind is a doctor. And this online school has campuses, and I'm putting this in fucking air quotes, thanks, friendly atheist, at various churches. Campuses at various churches. So any church that has a computer. And this church has handed out degrees to people like Benny Hinn, Joyce Myers, and Kenneth Copeland.
Oh.
Who all say that they have PhDs in theology. And the school makes it very clear that this is an earned degree.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count.
So this school, the one that he got it from, Life Christian University, is not accredited.
No.
It's not. And so to get a PhD, according to other sources that I grabbed this from, all you would have to do is successfully complete 45 credit hours of study. Only 45.
Holy crap.
Of study at the postgraduate level. and write a 150-page dissertation. Not a thesis that you have to defend, just a dissertation.
Wow.
No, that's not how it works.
No, that's not how a doctorate works.
Well, I know where I'm going.
You become a doctor, you get to own that shit, because that is like something you worked your ass off to get. It's not something they just hand out like Pez. It's really fucking hard to get.
Huh. Well, makes sense.
And the really funny thing is that he also received a bachelor. He's not talking about his like other earned degree. He got his Bachelor of Arts in Religious Education from Oral Roberts University in 1976.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So, and the fact that he's talking about how you can't, all this stuff is protected by privacy laws. No,
it's not.
That applies to stuff like your transcript. So, I mean, they may not be able to like find out if you have a degree easy or not, but it is public information, and especially doctorates.
Especially doctorates. Yes, every doctoral thesis
is published.
Is published.
Yeah.
You can go to the university library and pull up anybody's doctoral thesis.
I just think it's funny. 45 credit hours of postgraduate level.
No, yeah.
Like, that's not even enough to get a master's, man. That's not even close. That's not even, like, in the same fucking ballpark.
That's not enough to get an associate's.
No, that was like, I did that.
My associates took 70-something credit hours, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was like...
And that's where I stopped, because college is bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah,
it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I'll admit that right now.
That was like one semester of undergrad for me. No.
I learned stuff a lot easier looking up stuff on the internet and getting my hands dirty. I went straight into the workforce. That's what I did.
Yeah.
But I'm not putting myself up on a cross or anything like that. I'm just some dude that, like, I'd rather hang out with my girlfriend and, watch Netflix wasn't a thing then. Fuck, I can imagine. I can remember when Netflix wasn't a thing. Okay, next up we have Alex Jones talking to some douchehole named Stone. Who apparently wants the death penalty for the Clintons, because they're traitors. Anyway, here we go.
Already learned that she's advising the Chinese president for money and from other world leaders. I mean, this lady is a whore politically.
Yeah, no, look, she's not a liberal. She's not a progressive. She's a crony capitalist. It's all about the money. It's always been about the money. Everything was for sale. Look, Bill Clinton, without any question, and I wrote it for InfoWars, Bill Clinton traded military secrets, missile technology secrets to the Chinese in return for Chinese funny money.
He said Clinton.
What?
Clinton.
Clinton. The fuck?
But is she I mean, yes. I have more actually paused. I don't normally pause this too much, but he called her a political whore. Alex, what are you doing, man? Has nobody? I mean, okay, I understand that you're trying to court the Obama people, and I mean the anti-Obama people, but you know what? Some of them are women.
Yeah.
Using the word whore is not going to curry you any additional favor with some audience members out there.
Yeah, but they're whores, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, no, it doesn't count.
I mean, okay, admittedly, I'm a whore. I realize this. I own it. I have given so many words away to companies for free product that's not even funny. Not here with Utah Outcasts. I mean, I would let you know if I was whoring myself out here, but...
We've all done our fair share of whoring. But
I like free stuff, man. I'm not going to lie. And Clinton's probably the same way. Fuck, if I can get $500,000 to come talk at a credit agency for like 30 minutes, I mean, who wouldn't fucking do that? I'm not saying it's great that she went and did all that, but I'm just saying that I think everybody in the world is essentially a whore for the most part. If you want to,
gotta make a living.
If you want to boil capitalism down, we're all whores.
Yeah, if you want to boil it down to performing a service or a favor for money, then sure, yeah. Or what? Yeah,
I'm an IT whore. That's a podcast whore.
Guess what? If you have a job, you're just a capitalist whore.
$25 down and $77 a month, or whatever the fuck it is. I can't think of it. Anyway, let's let this asshole finish.
These campaign contributions that were laundered. That's treason. The statutes for treason have no statute of limitations, and the penalty for conviction for treason is execution.
Death.
Incarceration. So it's all back on the table. They're the ones who decided to get back.
Well, I'm not just saying this, and I know you're an eternal pessimist or realist, but I sense defeat of the globalists, defeat of the Clintons. I mean, I think, and I know there's still 60 days to go or 59 days, but I sense panic in their ranks.
Jesus.
I wish they would have let him finish because I wanted to know what he said after that, but really.
Well, one, if your accusation were true, no, that's not treason.
Yeah, good luck proving treason, by the way.
You can't,
it's just like libel and slander. Like, good luck.
Yeah. It just, no, absolutely not. And not to mention the fact that none of what you're saying
is true.
Not even in the slightest. It holds no water whatsoever.
You're trying to tell me she didn't take money from the Chinese? The Chinese funny money?
The Chinese funny money. She took all
the Chinese have been keeping they've been depreciating their own value of their money to keep shit cheap, you know? Mm-hmm. That's not funny money. That's, you know, if you get like a couple of million yuan or whatever the fuck they use for their money, or renminbi, I think is what it is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the Chinese currency is. But anyway, get a bunch of that, and, you know, if you have some bonds and they fucking explode as soon as they finally decide to, you know, actually value their currency where it should be, not only do you have every product and good the United States uses go up in fucking price, you would also be able to make a lot of fucking money. Because China knows that they are the fucking, the production capital of the world.
Yeah. It just, why does he think the Chinese would give campaign funds to the Clintons?
Well, and I just...
Are they any friendlier to the Chinese than every other politician?
Yeah, I mean, like, ever since, like, Nixon opened the doors, everybody's been trying to play nice with China because there's a lot of fucking people over there.
Yeah, there are.
All right, so the next one that we have up for you guys is we have Ben Carson talking with Chris Wallace. And, boy, Chris has a very direct line of questioning that he has for Mr. Carson. So here we go.
Trump has a Hispanic advisory council, but after his hardline speech on immigration this week, several members of that council quit. Here's one of them.
It was not a Republican speech. It was not a compassionate speech. I was very disappointed, and I'm not going to be part of that.
Question: Do you
know
worry,
what I would say?
Do you worry that you're being used as a prop for black voters, and that supporting Donald Trump will end up hurting your credibility in the black community?
Well, first, I'm impressed that he thinks he has any credibility at all.
I think and I can't speak for him, but I think the black community went, man, get the fuck out of here.
God damn it, Ben.
You haven't been black in ages. Like a neurosurgeon. Running as a GOP nominee. What the fuck are you doing? You're not running with the Southern swastika on the backseat of your car, you know. That's the rebel flag for you people that don't know what that means.
The Dixie swastika.
What the fuck does Chris Wallace think that he can just come out and ask something like this? Oh, do you worry that you're being used as a prop? No, I don't think. What's a prop? I don't know. Do you guys want to hear what he says?
Yeah. Well, kind of. I don't know. I'm kind of tired, so it's possible that playing Ben Carson could.
I was going to say, we might fall asleep.
A long time ago. It's not about me. It's about our nation. But I would suggest...
Oh, that was an artful dodge right there. Oh, it's not about me. It's about the nation.
Chris, go back and look at the 1995 State of the Union address by Bill Clinton and see what he said. He said, illegal aliens are creating big problems for us, and we're going to put a lot more border patrol people on and secure our borders, and we're not going to have people able to work who come in illegally, and we're going to cut off their welfare benefits, and we're going to deport people in record numbers. You know, he says Vic is basically the same thing, but when he says it, wow, great standing ovation, this is a great president. And when Trump says it, it's hate speech.
I don't care to fact check him on this, because keep in mind that Clinton was the guy that fucking signed NAFTA.
Yeah.
Which drove a lot more people to the north. You know?
It's about, why do they keep forgetting that context matters?
And you're also talking about 95. That's 21 years ago.
Yeah.
If you looked at, someone from World War II era, and you looked at someone who is his predecessor 21 years before that, you're talking like post-World War I kind of fucking way of thinking. Mm-hmm. So there's been a lot of goddamn changes since Clinton was a president. Thank you very much. Ben Carson. God damn it, man.
I don't know why anybody keeps talking to him, honestly.
Well, because it's amusing.
I mean, shit, we used it.
Comedic relief.
Yeah, I believe you're correct there. Okay, so that does it with Fun with Real Audio. We are going to jump to our main topic, which is going to be an interview with Chalice Blythe, and we're going to finish off the show. Felicia is not going to make it. If she is, be like, no, you can't come on. No, I'm not going to adjust all this shit for 20 minutes. No, it's not going to happen. Anyway, this is Utah Outcasts. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and it is now time for our interview, and we've reached that point in the show where we have to cede the floor to our guests to tell us a bit about themselves. So Chalice, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Chalice Blythe, and I am the chapter head of the Satanic Temple here in Utah.
Nice canned response.
Yay!
How did you end up becoming the chapter head?
It was sort of not planned. I just happened to be the person that nagged people in TST the most, I think, about having a chapter. So, in the beginning, so the Satanic Temple formed back in 2012. And shortly after that, obviously, you get Facebook started and you get people who follow along and all the stuff that they're doing. And somewhere in, I think it was like 2000, we're in 2016, aren't we? So somewhere around like 2014 through 2015, they started this official Facebook online forum group. And it was a place where members, allies, people who were curious about us, they could, join in not only the discussion, but hear the goings on of what was going on with different chapters, or just,
Do I dare say it's a safe space?
No safe spaces.
No, okay, not that type of safe space. Not with the fucking kitties and, what is it, Lisa Frank art and stuff like that. No, it's not like that. I'm just saying it's a place where people are allowed to come, share their thoughts and ideas, and have discussions and stuff without having to fear the retribution of people going, "Yeah, you fucking Satanist, you're going straight to hell."
Oh, those people definitely got in.
Oh, do they still get in? Okay, so never mind. Yeah, it definitely isn't then.
So obviously it was trial and error in the beginning, but anyway, I mean, and it's still very active, it's still very strong, but a lot of us who are either chapter heads or just members or allies, I mean, that's where a lot of us met, and that's where we really formed that strong community. And so through getting to know people through there and through just being really active within it, I just really wanted to make sure that TST knew that Utah deserved a chapter here. We have the community, we have the people that feel very strongly about what TST does, and I just didn't want us to get forgotten.
Yeah.
They had a moratorium on chapters for, I think, a little over a year. Because, they were growing at such an exponential rate that it took them a minute to kind of catch up with all of that. So all of these chapters started popping up. But eventually they just said, you know what, we're going to put a pause on this for a little bit so that we can get our stuff together on our end.
Yeah.
And, but we were in the interim for that. We were absolutely encouraged to kind of form our own supportive communities. So people who really wanted chapters, but obviously they weren't going to, get one anytime soon. but they wanted to apply for them when that moratorium was lifted. So, the process of that was just meeting people online, obviously knowing people within your own life who were supporters or members, and getting that community together, getting that group together and saying, okay, like if we want a chapter here, like what do we want to do? And, what are some of the causes that we want to take up? So, so I just kept nagging. I was constantly in people's ears. And then, in December or so of
last year, I had basically an interview, which I didn't perceive as an interview at the time. I got a call from Lucian Greaves, and we just kind of discussed the, so I see that you're constantly talking about Utah needing a chapter. Why? Why is that? Why?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
come on, Lucian.
Yeah, and obviously it wasn't above him to know why, but I think
he wants to hear it in your perspective. Yeah. So.
Yeah, somebody who actually lives here definitely wanted to get that perspective, and so we just had a conversation about what's the community there like? Why do you feel so strongly that we need a chapter there?
You should have just went to Temple Square and took a video of this is the middle of downtown, and right next to it is a shopping mall owned by a religion.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, so we had that conversation, and I didn't really perceive it as an interview. I figured, well, he's asking the question, I'm answering it, and, hopefully maybe when the moratorium is lifted, I can see about applying. And then in February, I got an email saying, hey, you've got your chapter there in Utah. You're the chapter head. And I was like, oh shit, what?
Oh, fuck. What does that mean?
Oh shit, really? No way. Yeah, because that wasn't my intent going in. I mean, I obviously wanted to bring a chapter here, but it wasn't my goal or my intent really to be the chapter head.
Yeah.
So it was definitely just a little bit of a shock, but I think I also kind of earned it with just my absolute
your tenacity.
Incessantness.
Yeah.
Just being like, hey guys, hey, how, yeah, don't forget about us here. Yeah.
It's funny how that works.
Just give her a chapter, okay? Come on.
Dude,
Maker management, that'll change her mind. Oh, fuck.
But yeah, so we've been a chapter. We've had our chapter since February of this year, so we're still fairly new.
So that leads me to my next question: how the recent events have gone by. I mean, you guys have the picnic, and that's going to be not big picnic, the barbecue. That's going to be happening after we're recording. Yeah, when you guys are listening to this, it happened a couple days ago. But as I'm recording, it's tomorrow, or actually on Sunday. Sorry, on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
But I want to ask, how have the past events gone so far? Because you guys originally had your initial meetup. I think did you guys have it at Watchtower, or did you have it somewhere else?
So so we've had a few meetups, and we had our big unbaptism event that was back in July on Pioneer Day.
No. Yeah.
So we've had a few meetups. We initially were going to do our big public information meeting down at Watchtower. But we got so many RSVPs, we had to change it because, unfortunately, we needed more space.
Yeah, Corey can't handle that many people.
Not unfortunately, because it was great. So many people showed up. But unfortunately, because I really wanted to host something at Watchtower. They've been incredible.
They're great people. They are great fucking people.
Yeah, they are great fucking people.
Local listeners, if you're not getting your coffee from Watchtower, if you're still going to Starbucks, shame on you.
Yeah. They're amazing. They're absolutely, and I even like the stuff. I love their boba tea. I think they do really good. So anyway, they're just they're really incredible. They've been really supportive of us. So I felt really bad that we had to change location for that. But we've had a few public information meetings for people to come and just kind of learn about what we're about. And then we also had our big unbaptism event. Which was back in July on Pioneer Day. And so
tons of pictures. Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
It was fun. It was so much fun. It was It was an incredible experience, and it really solidified for me why we're here. I mean, just what, the unbaptism ritual itself, and then having every single person in the audience come up and participate afterwards.
Yeah.
It was very indicative to me that it is absolutely necessary that we're here, because we obviously, there was something so, that ritual just resonated with people so much that none of it, I don't know of those people that showed up if they were actually members or not of TST. Probably some people who were just allies, maybe some members, but just that event alone, it was so sincere and so intense for them that they wanted to participate with that. So
now, to give people a quick heads up, to become a member of TST, what do you need to do? I mean, I believe I have signed up because you put yourself on the email roster, and
yeah, that's all you need.
That's pretty much it, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to the satanictemple.com, there is a little tab that says "Join Us." And really, it's, it goes through just saying, as if you're declaring yourself a member, obviously, you agree with the tenets, and there's a few little caveats for, how you represent yourself and, not speaking on behalf of TST as an organization.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
But it's basically saying if this is for you, if you consider yourself a member and these 7 tenets, you
speak
feel
to you. Yeah.
deeply held beliefs for you, you just submit your email and you're considered a member. You don't have to pay for it at all. The only thing they have, you can get little cards, and you can
become a card carrying Satanist.
Yeah, you can be a card carrying Satanist, and those cost money, but it's really only covering the cost of production, mailing, and all of any proceeds we get from that just goes towards our campaign. So it's not.
Which you guys have Gray Faction and the After School Satan, which is going to be starting up here.
Yeah,
I think we're one of the few that gets actual After School Satan here with the chapters. I mean, we're one of the few that gets one.
Yeah, so all of the chapters applied to their various school districts, and so as far as Utah is concerned, we have not been told no outright. We're still waiting we've submitted our application. We're still waiting to hear back from the Granite School District.
I love how
we applied to have our club at Vista Elementary School in Taylorsville.
I love how Granite has kind of said, if anybody else wants to take up all the space that the Satanists want to use, please let us know.
they'd be really, so first of all, so we chose Vista Elementary School. I mean, there was nothing in, the only reason we chose it was because they've hosted they've hosted the Good News Clubs prior, and that's the evangelical Christian group that has
Google their fucking stuff that they send home for their kids. That shit is horrible. It's terrible.
Super creepy.
Yeah, you can find their curriculum online, and we also have copies of actual curriculum that they have with the students, and it's pretty abhorrent.
Yeah, it's
pretty
fucking
bad.
Terrible.
Just in the messages that they go, I mean, it's not saying that because it's a Christian group it's bad. The actual content and what they're teaching kids and how they're using children, that's the abhorrent part. I mean, they're teaching them that they're born sinners and that they're bad, and that they are just. They're going to hell, essentially. Yeah. But the good news, so quote unquote, the good news part of the club is that if they can be saved through Jesus Christ, to completely, wipe away all of basically them being shitty people, being
washed in
little
the
children,
blood of the Lamb.
And, and they use those kids to also, get other memberships. So they kind of they get these kids who,
evangelize
they totally believe it, and they use other children to recruit more children. So it's purely, it is a pure system of, just evangelizing on these children, on school property. And and it's legal. It's perfectly legal for them to do that. I mean, they went to the Supreme Court back in 2001 and won a case.
They won, yeah.
Because they didn't represent it as a freedom of religion argument. They represented it as a freedom of speech argument. And because of that, that's how they want.
That's opened the door for you guys to come in.
So obviously, as Satanists, as you know, of the Satanic Temple, we obviously believe that there should be a separation of church and state.
Yeah, absolutely.
In every single way. But if you're going to open those doors, if you are going to blur that line, then you have to accept everybody. It's either everybody or nobody. So, you know, a lot of the campaigns that we have, I mean, the Baphomet statue is another clear-cut case of separation of church and state. You know, that again, it was, well, you obviously have opened the door for this. So, you know, we want to exercise our religious freedoms, you know, just as you are.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
And so for the After School Satan Club, really all it is, you know, we're not proselytizing to the children, and we're not teaching them Satanism.
No.
You know, we're teaching them, you know, kind of the fundamentals of what we believe. So, you know, basic critical thinking, problem solving, creative expression, you know, science, you know, stuff like that, where, you know, these are you know,
kind of useful things. I said useful things.
Useful things that, you know, obviously as Satanists, we feel very deeply about, but they're not just religious. It's not just from a religious point of view.
Yeah.
And so we're teaching, you know, what we want to do is teach these kids things that are applicable to their lives at every step of the way throughout their life, in any application. And whether or not they're Satanists or not, I mean, we're not excluding kids who are, you know, Christian kids can come to the group, atheist kids, Satanist kids, you know, and wherever they fall in between, they're more than welcome to participate in these clubs, because we're not trying to convert anybody, you know.
Yeah. Well, so, and for people to understand at the basic level what a Satanist is well, God damn it! There are so many things that get brought up whenever you say, "Yes, I'm a member of the Satanic Temple." Be like, "Oh man, you're a supporter of Satan?" Like, no, I don't think he exists. And so, for me, as an anti-theist, you know, I hate all theistic religions. I hate them all. I think the world would be better off without them, because it causes a lot of people to live by shitty rules and the shitty beliefs that, you know, are just unfounded. I don't have a problem with non-theistic religions, which is why I'm a supporter of the Satanic Temple. I'm a member of it, and why, you know, even with you know, just the simple Buddhism, not the really fucking hardcore Buddhists. You know, I don't have a problem with them. Actually, I kind of have a problem with that, because they're teaching that a guy reached enlightenment, you know, sitting under a fucking tree. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to walk this tightrope where you're an anti-theist, but at the same time, a lot of people think that anti-theist is someone that hates all religion. Like, no, there's some that work really well for the world. So, and the Satanic Temple is one of the few that I actually support. So,
yeah, well, I mean, when we're talking about religion, you know, we get that we get that argument all the time of, well, you don't believe in a literal Satan, you don't worship a deity known as Satan, so how could you be a religion? And so, you know, what we would say to that, you know, essentially is, you know, religion,
deeply held beliefs.
Well, yeah,
well, that's part of it. Yeah. So
when you think about religion, if you take the supernatural aspect of it, you know, religion provides that sense of identity, that culture, the community, those shared values, and it's, you know, a body of symbolism and religious practice, essentially. And so it provides that narrative structure by which we contextualize our lives and work. So because of that, we feel very much that, you know, we provide everything. I mean, we are just as legitimate of a religion as, you know, anybody else, you know, say the Christian faith. And so, you know, if you allow the term religion, if you allow religion to be defined by the superstitious, then you are saying that only they are entitled to those privileges and exemptions that are allotted to us under the Constitution. Because really, when it comes to a religion, we're talking about, you know, not only the practice, but those privileges and exemptions that are allotted to us, you know, in our practice and what we can do as religion, you know, as a religion. So if you allow them to be the ones that define what a religion is, then that can lead to that encroachment of their beliefs, morals, and restrictions upon those who don't identify as such, because if they're going to be the ones that hold on to that definition, then, that's kind of the rabbit hole that you go down. So, that's why we feel very much that, even though we're atheistic Satanists, we identify with that figure of Satan. Satan, is that figure that represents that eternal rebel opposing arbitrary authority. And, he very much, Satan represents, that, defiance, independence, wisdom, and self-empowerment.
Yeah.
And everything that goes along with it. So,
well, and as I've gone into my atheism, anti-theism, and all the fun stuff that's come with that, when you go back and you look at the Bible, especially Old Testament kind of stuff, and you read the character of Satan in those.
He's the good guy.
Yeah, he is really the good guy. I mean, there's somebody that made a great infographic video where it talks about the deaths in the Bible versus God versus Satan, who killed who.
Yeah.
And God's number just keeps ticking up at an amazing fucking rapid rate. And Satan goes blink 1. I think he's got a grand total of 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't hear about Satan sending she bears to kill 40 kids,
No. Yeah. I love his major crimes. Satan's major crimes were giving what was it? Knowledge. The gift of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bad thing, apparently.
No, I want you to live in ignorance. I'm God.
Let's see. What else did he do? Oh, yeah. He tried to feed the guy who was starving himself to death in the desert 30 days?
Come on, Jesus.
Yeah.
I got some sausage.
Yeah.
You need to eat something, man.
So anyway, to get back kind of on point where we're talking about here, what's the one thing that you wish people would know before assuming what someone who's a member of the Satanic Temple believes in?
I would hope they just wouldn't assume anything and actually be open to listening to what I have to say. I mean, it's I don't expect, I say I'm a Satanist, I'm with the Satanic Temple. I don't expect people to know anything about it prior to asking me the question. What would be nice would be to have the ability to say, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and them having an open enough mind to say, okay, well, that's, to actually listen to the words and not just hear Satan and nothing else.
Yeah, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people that hear the word Satan, they're like, I'm done, I'm out. Nope.
Yeah, and it's not just from, it's not just from, religious upbringing. I mean, people's idea of Satanism, a lot of the bad stuff when it comes to this idea that we're a bunch of, child sacrificers, and there's this whole conspiracy, Illuminati type shit.
Thanks, Anton Xander LaVey. Fucking thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I know he didn't but I'm just saying that he made the fucking black masses and shit like that. And
well, he didn't make them.
But he popularized them in the late, 70s, I think?
So, yeah, Church of Satan was established back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And so,
which you guys are not. You're not the Church of Satan.
No, we are not.
I would hope people listening to this would know the difference already.
Yeah, I could go into it, but we're very much not the Church of Satan. The only thing that we share in common is that we're not literal devil worshippers. So the Church of Satan, founded by Anton LaVey back in the 60s, he's the one that wrote the Satanic Bible, which everyone I'm sure is familiar with, Satanic Witch, stuff like that. The only thing we have in common really is that we're atheistic. So they also use Satan as a literary metaphor as well. Mm-hmm. They don't worship a literal Satan. But there's also everything else that's completely different about us. People can look it up. It's all there online. I mean, we've got our website. They've got their website. People can go and look that up on their own. But yeah, no, when it comes to, Church of Satan did not propagate that idea of, the children sacrificing, the abuse, everything like that. It was
No. That was the Satanic Panic that did that shit.
Yeah. Satanic Panic of the 80s and 90s. And,
thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny because I have fairly young parents because everyone in my family likes to reproduce at the age of 12. So they were growing up kind of in the shadow of that as well, of the Satanic Panic. So obviously when my Satanism came up, that's what they remembered. My mother actually did bring that up. She's like, well, I remember God, like the McMartin's preschool case, blah, blah, blah. And so like she, it was very, it was so ingrained in her that was a real thing because of the media frenzy at the time that still stuck with her. So,
yeah,
so a lot of the flack we get from people that still believe that's a lot of where that came from. And so, the difference is that, people like my mom who's willing to listen to, what I have to say about it. And she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And then there are others who don't care. So
I'm just pissed off because I missed out on so many great metal bands because of my parents. Oh, man. Okay, let's get to the lightning round. But first, I need to reiterate the fun little story about how my family noticed that we became friends on Facebook, Chalice. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Where mother-in-law is a strict Mormon and grandmother is she's not a hardcore Christian, but she's a very much a God believer kind of thing. And so when they found out we became friends on Facebook, they were like, they went to my wife, like before they even came to me with anything. They went to my wife and they're like, hey, your husband has become friends with someone who's in the Satanic Temple, the chapter head. And I'm like, and my wife's like, what's this with you becoming friends with Satanists? I'm like, yeah, they're friends. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in Satan. It's just people that live by good standards and rules. Oh, okay. And she's like, well, my mom's being a real dick about this whole thing. And so it really made me laugh because they were trying to insinuate that like, I'm going to lead my children down a path that they might never return from. And I'm like, have you guys even bothered to look up their website? I mean, have you even tried to understand who these people are?
Yeah. No, of course not.
No, why would they see Satan and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the buzzword.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just funny that they thought that that's the only way to save my kids from this doom is just to talk behind my back. The doom that was created by their God that can only be saved by their God because of his shitty creation. So I just thought it was really funny that like none of them have come up to me at all about this whole thing. And they're still
they haven't talked to you personally about it?
No, not a single word. They've just gone through my wife. And I'm like, yeah, you passive aggressive bastards. Don't even try to have a conversation about this thing.
Yeah.
That's family for you.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed about the culture here. Very passive aggressive. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't have the issues like in Arizona or Texas where lives could possibly end any day, really. Because some of the stuff they get. So
lightning round. Let's see. We've already gone over a couple of these already. So where are you from, Chalice?
I was born here, and I did some moving around. So between here and my second home is Oregon. So, but I'm primarily
lucky. Let's see. One of my questions: have you ever been to our fair state? Yes, you live here now. Atheist all your life, or later in life?
I started considering myself an atheist when I was 14 years old.
Oh, okay.
So. Yeah, so not all my life. Obviously, I was raised in the religion, and as a kid, even all of it. But by the time I was 14, I was done with it and considered myself. As
much as I'm pissed off at my parents for doing that to me and raising me in religion and all that stuff, I also realize that it gives me kind of a leg up on the people that were never religious when it comes to combating this shit. So.
Well, I'm not mad at my folks about it because they're the kind of Christians that other Christians should aspire to.
Yeah.
Because they truly have that attitude of just like, this is what we believe in, and if you don't, that's totally fine too. I mean, obviously, the atheism and then the eventual Satanism. I mean, it was shocking, and they were very uneasy about it. But at the same time, I didn't get the hateful emails, and I didn't get the disownment and everything like that. They were willing to take the time to learn. So, and I think that they kind of raised me to be the same way, like non-judgmental, always just hearing someone out, even if you think they're batshit crazy, like, stuff like that. So I'm not mad about it. It just,
no. Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite booze or beer that you might have?
Oh, man. So
there's so many to choose from, especially in this state. And people might think that, and I bring this up only for people that might be listening outside of Utah. A lot of people think that, we do have weird, crazy liquor laws in the state.
We do.
But it's not as different as some other places out there. But at the same time, we've got some amazing booze in this state.
We do. Well, obviously, High West Distillery is some of the best in D.C.
It's great.
I also really love the Wasatch beer. I mean, you can't really go wrong with them. I'm loving their pumpkin beer right now.
Oh.
Which one? The Blackjack or the?
No, Blackjack. I mean, the Blackjack is okay, but I prefer because what I do is I do the black and tans, but I use their regular pumpkin beer as the tan part, and then you put Guinness on top. So that's my favorite, but God, there's so many in Denver as well. There's a lot of good Denver breweries that I'm in love with. So
Epic moved to Denver.
Yeah, they did.
So they're a Denver brewery now, not a fucking Utah brewery anymore, which makes me really sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so last question I have for you here: what's the most tooth grinding thing that people of faith do?
Oh.
They
fucking knock it off.
They encroach on other people's freedom of expression.
Good answer. Good answer.
Very good answer.
That would get you 40 points on Family Feud right there. Survey says. Okay, so we'll be right back with our finishing the show segment. We'll be... You guys heard me already. Be right back.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we lost Chalice, but in her place, we've gained back Felicia. Hey, Felicia, welcome to the show. You made it! Yay! To give people a frame of reference, it's like almost 12:30 on Saturday morning. For most of us workaday people, Monday through Friday, and I'm not excluding certain people like Felicia because she doesn't have kids, but she worked her ass off tonight doing something else. But for the rest of us, it's like from the 9 to 5 and having kids and everything, it's like, fuck, I need to sleep in. It's not going to happen because kids don't know how to fucking sleep in. Anyway.
I just have events. I don't have kids. I have shit I have to do in the morning.
You have a cat.
No. I have literal, commitments.
Ugh.
In the day. Okay, so yeah, I've replaced children, apparently, with
obligation.
Responsibilities.
Like, making an active difference in the world? What the fuck am I doing?
That's okay, you'll grow out of that. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Hillary Clinton never did.
Anyway, there's time to be cynical.
It is time for our highs for the week. And as much as we may not want to be positive, this is the part where we try to be at least. And I'm going to go first because Felicia just reminded me of something I have to be positive about this week. I think I've talked about it on the show a few times and I just made the loudest fucking Wow, that was amazing. Anyway, I've talked a lot about my weight control and, all the fact that I've, ballooned quite a bit and I've started running again, which I'm happy about because it honestly does make me feel better. I feel good about myself. But last week, for the show, for a lot of the stuff I do in this world, I do certain things that, might be viewed from a lot of people as, why would you do something like that? But, to make the show better, to provide, extra cash for me to spend on whatever, I donate plasma every week. And every time you go in, you get weighed. Whether you want to or not, you have to be weighed to donate plasma. And when I weighed in last week, I noticed I was at 290. And to give people an example, I was 310 at my heaviest. And that's pretty goddamn close. And I managed to whittle myself down to, 227 at my lightest. And so getting back up to 290, I'm like, fuck, I let myself go quite a bit. And I just kind of hit that point where I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to start tracking calories. I don't give a fuck what you people may say. Tracking calories works for me. Doesn't work for everybody. Works for me. That's how I got down so skinny and running my balls off. But anyway, it's been really nice trying to, work within the budget of calories again and to, actually be physical again. It makes me feel a lot better. So that's kind of my high point for the week. I don't really have much anything else because we're in the middle of a school year and I'm at my job. We're barreling towards a really shitty time of the year. So
yes, we are.
God
You're not in the middle of the school year, darling. You just started.
I just started.
It just began.
So the days of getting 5.5 hours of sleep are back once again.
Oh, God, I don't have kids. That's neat. Oh, come on. I gotta step that one back a little bit, because I just, I'm sort of signed on with, being in love with a guy who has a kid and also loving his kid and spending nights with his kid there. So yeah, no, that's gonna happen with me soon. That's gonna be a thing. Anyway, all right. So my high and low. My high is I've started doing. I'm tracking with you, X. Weight management for me is a huge deal. One of my huge successes, one of my for me emotionally significant things was after my divorce, I lost all the weight that I just could not lose when I was married. Part of it was that he controlled what I ate and when I ate. And part of it was that no matter how closely I tracked my calories, no matter how careful I was, it didn't matter because I was under so much emotional stress that I was.
There's a big part of that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that I was horribly, emotional abuse has such terrible effects on your body, and anyone who says otherwise is ignoring the science on this. Yeah, no there's shit. Actual research on this. So, no, I couldn't lose the weight. And then after I got out of the marriage, I started exercising, but more importantly, I cut my added sugars and I started actually watching my diet the way I wanted to. Like, I got to control my diet and I got to own my own body again. And so I did. And I lost a ton of weight. And then I started
right here, it's bread. Once I start letting go of bread, it just falls off.
God, I love bread.
Fuck.
I love bread.
It's not only a Utah thing, but we in Utah in particular have a unhealthy fucking obsession with bread.
No, you're not wrong. You are not. Bread is neat. But yeah, I cut out my added sugars and my artificial sweeteners, especially the artificial sweeteners. I mean, of course, added sugar is something that I can't 100% avoid if I'm going to exist in society.
Be human, yeah.
Yeah.
Un-American, there you go.
Artificial sweeteners I've not touched for a very, very long time, and I have no plans on going back.
I love my sweet and low. I know. Hey, how about this for a high point for everybody this week? Obama just killed the Dakota Access Pipeline.
Yay! Good for him.
Yeah, breaking news item there. I just had to bring that one in because they released because you had private security force sicking dogs on Native American people. Fuck you guys.
That
Shame on you.
So fucking disgusting. I can't even hear that.
Anyway, sorry, back to you.
So,
you don't gotta give a low.
I started doing intermittent fasting, which is basically fasting, but you're bad at it. So there's several styles of intermittent fasting, and the actual science says what works for you, right? So maybe twice a week you eat dinner and then you don't eat again until dinner, and you do that twice a week. Or maybe you spend 3 days a week eating very specific foods, or look up intermittent fasting.
That's kind of what I do. I for most of the work week, I eat about the same thing every single day, and then I change it up on the weekends.
Right. So that would be okay. So here's the thing about fasting. If you hard fast and you don't eat anything, that's actually not terribly healthy. It's actually really, really, really hard on your body. But then there's intermittent fasting, the style I've chosen because it just because it works for me. I'm not saying this has to be for everyone else. I'm doing a 2-5 fast, so 2 days a week. I'm choosing Monday, Tuesday because fuck it, why not? I guess
it's Monday and Tuesday. Let's just make Monday even shittier as it is.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I guess whatever. Monday, Tuesdays are my days, and Monday, Tuesday I fast. And it's 48 hours. If you go over 48 hours of fasting, it's actually unhealthy. It's bad for you. That's where you start to not get the weight loss benefits, and you don't get the insulin reduction, and you don't get the added human growth hormone that your body naturally produces. So 2.5. And in those 2 days, I get 500 calories a day.
Wow. That's a minuscule
so those
amount.
2 days suck balls. They're so hard. They're so hard to live up to. Like it's hard on those 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest of the week, they're like, don't eat more than you did before. But the thing is, like, my stomach shrinks during those 2 days where I'm not eating, and I have to make it like an active effort not to eat. So my stomach it gets a lot smaller. So the rest of the week, I'm like, I cannot. Like today, I had one like big meal. I ate a whole sandwich and a half soup. And a half soup. And that was my meal. And then I snacked a couple of times. One of my snacks was hummus and cucumbers. So, not terribly calorie dense. But, like, I find myself, like, just not able, because my stomach shrinks. Like I cannot go over it. And I've actually noticed a difference. And I'm actually going back to where I was, and I'm losing weight again. So I'm really, really excited. Yep. And I can handle my 48 hours fasting, bad fasting, where I do actually eat foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I still have my creamer in my coffee, which is like
straight sugar.
No. I do half and half.
Oh, okay.
Fuck off. I do not touch the sugar shit.
I thought you were talking about like Coffee Mate.
Oh God, no.
Half.
That makes your coffee a dessert.
No. My coffee
one little bit of a blurp in your coffee cup becomes a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, it's like that's all your sugar for the day.
Yeah, sorry, that's my standard measurement for things is Pop-Tarts. When I'm dieting or when I'm eating right, I'm like, that is about the same equivalent as a Pop-Tart. Just because it's a block of 180 calories. Just
Yep. Nope.
Hey, you guys like eating at Olive Garden? Sorry, I know there's going to be smug people out there to be like, oh, how dare you fucking eat at Olive Garden. And Olive Garden's my fucking jam. I don't care what anybody says. But one of those breadsticks is like 160 calories. And it's like,
yeah, I'm disappointed in you. I'm actually disappointed in you for eating at Olive Garden because I
Felicia,
love you.
I live in Clearfield.
Okay, fair enough. Point well made.
There's not actually like a decent fucking like Italian place to go to. Oh, you can go to Fazoli's. No, I'd rather
that serves prosciutto because that's my jam.
I know I make better food than Olive Garden makes, but sometimes I don't want to cook. I don't want to think about it. I want them to bring me barrels of bad food that I don't have to clean up after.
No, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, no, so the reality is that they're like, don't overcompensate for calories when you're not fasting. The thing is that, and I'm not saying this is going to be true for everyone. And I don't want, because a big truth of healthy eating is called intuitive eating, where you eat for you, like
what your body is hungry for. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
but you have to work to get to that point. That's the problem.
It does. No, it takes active effort, and you find what works for you because genetics are varied, and we're all fucking mutts at this point. No, so
yeah, race is a construct, you assholes.
I found what works for me, and the thing is that when I was losing weight, I was doing intermittent fasting just naturally. Like I just would just not eat. And this was largely because of my style and my income and many, many things. Like I was just fasting because fuck it, I can't afford food, or fuck it because I'm just tired and I don't feel like making things. Like I was intermittent fasting just for other reasons. So now I've changed it into an actual like diet standard where I'm intermittently fasting.
But you're seeing results, though. That's the good thing.
Oh, I am seeing it. I am seeing results. I've actually started going back. I have lost some weight. I don't know how much because I'm not weighing myself, but I can see it. I can see it in my face.
Oh, and I just realized I never gave the bookend to me weighing in at plasma every day. every time I go to do that. I've lost like 9 pounds since last week. And I know it's mainly water and all that fun, whatever the hell they like. Mm-hmm. I don't like that water weight shit. It is actual fat that has bubbled off of me. But the problem is that that's the easy portion.
Right.
That first week is always, oh, wow, this is doing great. You're not going to get biggest loser amount of fucking weight loss. And I've done this many times. I've thought about doing a separate channel where I just talk about the shit going on. But finding a community really helps out, especially if you're trying to be honest with yourself and with other people. I mean, when it comes to, how you're doing, I try to, elucidate a little bit to people, like what's going on, how I'm feeling, what's going on. And there's a lot of communities out there where people are like, good job, great job. Even if you feel like you did shitty for the day, they'd be like, pat you on the back. You could do better next time. That kind of thing. I do really well with that. And both Felicia and I belong to a group where they do pretty good on that kind of thing.
I actually really appreciate that. And when my fella is ready to start, because he's been talking about it lately, but I mean, he's a single dad.
Yeah, you gotta hit that point where it's for you,
Yeah, no, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not like expecting.
You're not badgering, yeah.
No, this is all
you're getting pretty around there.
Like what he wants for himself, like that's all. Because for me, he's handsome as shit. Like I don't care. Like I don't care. He's handsome. And
I just look at myself and I'm like, ugh.
Right, it's all internal. And so for me, when I started gaining weight on doing my current campaign thing, he didn't notice, apparently. And he's like, nope, you look amazing. Every damn day he says that. Like, and I believe him. I believe that he sees that in me. Anyway, so, no, I've started going back on the right track, and I'm really excited about the intermittent fasting thing, because today I had, like, one actual meal. Today. And I snacked the rest of the time.
Yeah, I snacked
my ass off. I had like a 240 calorie breakfast. And then I had some hummus and some yogurt cheese, which is a new thing. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's a Lebanese thing where they culture yogurt into like cream cheese. And I had that on some celery. So it's like panda
cheese then.
It was awesome. It was like cream cheese, but slightly sourer, like yogurt. It was awesome. It was so good. So I had that.
That's interesting. Let's check that out.
Laziz is the company, and they are at the Salt Lake Farmers Market, and that's the only place you can apparently buy their yogurt cheese. And it's better than cream cheese, and I'm like, I need this in my life.
Yeah, because
forever.
I fucking hate cream cheese by itself.
Okay, first of all, your regular cream cheese is full of fillers that are not toxic. They're not bad. They're not.
No, but sawdust is not toxic, and it's a filler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just call it cellulose.
I'm not even gonna call it like empty calories, because it's just there to like so they can cut their product, right? Like it's not even like it's not enough of anything for it to be detrimental, but flavor wise, it's shit.
It's like cutting Coke with baby powder.
And it changes the texture. And if you get like real cream cheese, there is a brand, Gina Marie cream cheese, which is a cow cream cheese. That's actually delicious. And it's a lot harder to make, and it's slightly more expensive.
Yeah. Than your Philadelphia.
It's hard to make. It does taste better. I actually really like that stuff. And it almost tastes like a more mild goat's, I have to use the correct term, it's chev. So goat milk can be made into all sorts of cheeses. And a lot of people think of goat cheese as like just like that crumbly stuff that you can get.
Feta, yeah.
Yeah. Feta is actually traditionally a sheep goat milk blend.
We haven't gone cheese in a long time on this show.
I know. Anyway. So,
but I hate to be that host. We do need to wrap up. So Kyle.
That's where I was going. So I've started losing weight again. I'm feeling really good about it. Low point.
You don't even have to do one.
No, I'm going. Go on.
All right, Kyle, go for it, man.
So I got a promotion at work. So
bitch.
I'd say congratulations, but I know what that entails.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay you anymore. We're just going to make you do extra shit.
here you go. Have some extra responsibilities. I'm like,
Can
okay,
I get a cost of living increase? No.
But, it's a good thing because I was getting like really bored. Really, really bored with my job, which was starting to really hurt. So, okay, cool. Yeah, no, I would like to do other more interesting things. Like, this will be good for you. I'm like, it's going to keep me from murdering people. So, sure. Yeah, okay.
I'm going on 1 month since my interview. I haven't heard a goddamn thing. But that's par for the course. That's par for the course, yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I mean, other than that, this week has been really interesting. I'm still getting feedback and fallout from the convention.
Wow.
And it's all been really good.
All right.
It's all been really good. And we've gotten a few people I know that have now found the show.
Yay!
So if you're
wonderful.
If you're listening, thank you.
Oh, and I actually have all my equipment to do my actual nice new mic.
Yeah. It's coming.
No, I'm not on it tonight because I'm so...
Well, yeah. Yes, because
tired.
It's late and it's tired and you were doing work stuff.
Yep, our next episode will be a Sunday episode, so everybody will be more rested. It's not going to be after fucking work on. Oh, but Felicia, you missed us talking about Joseph Smith's other seer stone.
I heard about that shit.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because we need to get to the patron show. So we've come to that point. That's it for this week's episode. We're off to go record the secret patron show, like I just said. That will remain exclusive for our patrons for 6 months before it's made available to the rest of the world. If you really want to hear what we're talking about, all it takes is $1 a week. And you don't even have to pay that $1 a week. You can just say, I'm going to pay half that, You can do that. I'm not going to give you shit. Anybody that wants to donate anything to the show, I fucking love you for it. So it's either that or you'll have to make do with the old-ass episodes on our YouTube and podcast feed. And some of those are starting to get pretty cool, like how we do the show nowadays. So it's really interesting to see the show's progression because every time I do a episode for the week, I have to go back and listen to some shit from the previous 6 months. And I'm like, whoa, we've grown. No, we still occasionally have the weird audio glitch and stuff like that. But it's a process. I'm learning. It's not going to mean anything until you get to that 100 anyway. If you don't reach 100 episodes, you're not a real fucking podcast.
You're not a real show.
No, how dare you? Anyway, so those that join us beyond the veil by going to patreon.com/Utah Outcasts have many options available to them. And like the LDS Church, we have greater rewards for those that are more devout to the Utah Outcasts. Just go check it out. It all makes sense. We're still setting up for the in-depth Ray Comfort episode. That's going to be recorded, in a couple of weeks. Oh, shit. I don't know. Yes, I will plan it to be recorded anyway. And we will be lampooning Atheist Delusion. I believe on the night of the barbecue. We'll find out about that. I'm throwing a little barbecue at the house. Anyway, keep in mind you can reach us anytime through our social media empire through comments on YouTube. And I am stockpiling shitty YouTube comments for yet another shitty YouTube comments episode. That's going to be fun. Voicemail, text, and email. So thanks to Felicia, Kyle, and Chalice, who took off already, for joining me once again this week. But sadly, this is the part where we must say to the Outcast, we'll catch you again next week with a brand new episode. But until then, hail Satan.
Bonne nuit.
Good night, everybody.
Indominus Satanas.
And you're welcome.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.